Hey guys, Sunday night. Bit of relaxing development to do. If you were with me earlier, if that's Kofi in the house, we have kind of fixed our little spline issue. So let me just show you that, where we have a readjusting spline. But it does offer up a new problem. So, without further ado, let's get on with it, shall we? Now, just for testing purposes, I've already laid these on the line, put them in, excuse me, put them in the level, so that we can basically start building straight away, and we don't need to wait for things to happen. So, if you notice now, if I get ready and then I click on, right, we're going to have to fix this, but you'll notice now our thing moves. Now you will notice that we still have a remnant there. Okay, now that wasn't happening earlier, which is a bit strange. I'm going to go back to here and I'm going to up this delay time to 0.5 and see if that fixes our issue. Now the other thing is, I want to see, I'm pretty sure we have, yeah we do, we have an event tick here. Actually we don't. We have another event tick on this actually. Actually, maybe we don't. No, we don't. We don't have an event tick on this. So what we're going to do, hang on a second, start build, add to spline build, I'm wondering if we need to stop. Let me just try something, okay? So what we're going to do here is we're going to copy and paste that. Then we're not going to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to drag this to here. Right? We're going to put this here. And then we're going to say start build. So we're going to clear start build as well as that one. So let's have a look at that again. So we're setting the timer, and I'm not sure if we ever actually stop it. And that might actually be one of the things that's causing the issues here. Okay. So let's try that anyway. Let's try and build our spline. Then we can move on. I should have fixed the other issue first that I wanted to fix there, which is this constant flashing. Now you'll notice that that didn't actually fix the problem. So we are going to leave that for now though, and we're going to go back to our spliner, and in our event graph now we have an event begin play, we don't have an event tick, right? So for the purposes of testing, we're going to do an event tick, right? And do we have, we must have, yeah, we have. Get controller, get the current game mode, and print. Okay, whatever. Print. I'm going to print the string. I want to know what mode we're in when we're building the string. The spline, sorry. When we're building the spline. Right? So when we start building the spline, we are in add to spline. Okay. Right. So that's a refinery. So in the refiner, let's have a look. That's process. Let's keep looking. Right. That's on clicked. That's on clicked. That's on begin play. So it must be in our base building, which is fine. I was hoping it would be there. Right, so what we do is we get our controller, then basically we say game mode. We get the current game mode, okay? And basically, if it equals add to spline, right, then we don't highlight it, okay? So this goes to branch, so fundamentally what we say here is if not, right? So we pull off here, we pull off not boolean, so that basically it comes off true, okay? So I shall select these, drag them down a bit. I'm going to now give myself some more space by selecting all of those, dragging them up a bit. I'll drag that up a bit as well. I'll just leave those where they are. So anyway, this is going to go in here, the true is going to go to here. And these two are going to go to here. Then this, it can move out the way a bit. Then we can move this over to here. We can align right, then we can copy paste it, and we can copy paste that. Then this goes in here. Okay. Then we can move this across to give us some more space. Then this can basically go to here. The true can go to here. And this can go to there. These can get bumped up slightly. Then we can move this down. And these are now looking a bit better. So now what's not going to happen is we're not going to have the whole buildings lighting up, right, when we're trying to build a spline. That was the whole point of that exercise. So did we do anything else to clear that spline? Now, if we go back to the spliner, we can remove this again. Then we can go back down to here. Right? And what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to basically spin these around. So this one's going to go first, and this one's going to go second. Okay. This can basically go. Right? We can save that. And now we can try it. So, let's have a go, shall we? So, and there we go. So you'll see there that the spline actually adjusted itself. Now, there is a problem, which I can demonstrate in a second, okay? So if we stop it and we start it again, okay, if we draw our spline, but we go past our where we want to do it. Okay, that didn't do what we wanted it to do, to be fair. This isn't even running that breakpoint. How weird is that? So let's try that again, shall we? So if we go past this, and resume, you'll notice that it doesn't do what you expect it to do, which is a bit of a problem, really. All in all, has to be said. So what we're going to have to do here is check if this has gone past. We're going to need to find out which way this spline is moving, right? And then we're going to have to find out, well, actually we don't, right? But first of all, we have to find out which way the spline is moving. So we're going to split this logic up. So in the short term, what we're going to do is we're not going to join it up, but we're just going to try and find out which way the spline is moving. Now, I don't think we actually know at this point which way the spline is moving. Nope, I don't think we know. Diff X. Let's have a look to see where the references are for this. Right, apparently we're not using diff X and diff Y. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to try and find out which way our spline is moving, right? And the way we can do that is by getting our current, we might need our current axis, right? So let's figure this one out. So we're going to break this for now, because we're just trying to find out what some values are, right? And we're going to switch on our enum clamp, right? So we'll put this up here for now. And we're going to get our spline lock index, Okay, and then we're going to get our spline points. Then basically we're going to get -1. So we're going to get the lock index and the -1 and find out if we've went over or under. And which way, we'll find out which direction we're going, whether we're going positive or whether we're going negative, right? And then from there, we can decide if we've gone too far, then we can delete the proper indexes and then add in our index at the end, okay? So, what we can do here is we want to do an append because we want to see some values, and we're going to do obviously a print string, right? So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get lock. Okay, we're not going to do that. We're going to do that. And then we're going to say lock position. And if it's the lock position, if we're doing X, it's the position on the Y. Okay? That needs to change. So we add a couple of pins. So we're now going to get a copy of our lock position, and similarly we're going to get a copy of our lock position -1. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to move this a bit. In fact, we'll move this whole little section that we're doing just completely out of the way. We may actually do this in another function, but we'll find out. So the lock position is going to come off our spline point, right? Now we're going to break this, and we're going to get the position, and then we're going to do a few spaces, and then we're going to say previous. Okay, then we're going to add a pin, then we're going to break this one, and we're going to get this one. Okay, and then we can put this in here. Now we may want to do a little bit of just a little bit of testing on this. We may want to spawn actors or something on these 2 points, just so we can see what's actually going on, okay? So, let's try this, shall we? Give me a second, guys. Okay, let's see if we can break this at the right point here. Apparently the dog's having a fit. Just give me a second, guys. I'll put the mic off for a second while the dog's having a fit. Okay, well it did break there, but unfortunately we haven't got the print string on the screen long enough for us to actually read it. So we need to stop it for now and basically put this to 120 for testing purposes, and then we can test it again. Okay, so we'll get that going. We need to click on that. And that didn't work because we didn't actually click on that, which is a bit annoying, to be honest. Right, so we can resume at that, and it's 920 and 9 minus 9, so it's going, that one's going positive, right? Now the thing is, right, we should know it's positive if we drop a cylinder here, right? And if we drop a cylinder up here, the second cylinder should have a higher Y value, right? And it hasn't. So that's a bit weird. So I'll tell you what we'll do. Is if we go back to our event graph, right, which we just deleted, which wasn't the brightest thing to do ever. And we set this to test and save that. We should be able to see some values to give us an idea of where the spline points are. At least I'm hoping that's the case. I'm hoping that code is still in there. Should be. I didn't take it out, I don't believe. Right, so we're okay for there. And that's not what we wanted. There's a couple of things we need to work on here to tie this up better. Okay, so if we resume, right, let's have a look. The lock position is minus 9,200. So the number has got smaller. Okay. So the number has got smaller. The lock position is 9,200 by 4,200. Now, strangely, this isn't quite right, okay? Because, well, I think what we need to do here, right, is add in the index number. So if we add, let's say, another 3 pins, and we remove this, and we bring this down, and we copy this, right? And instead of previous, we say index, and then we put our index key in, okay, and then we do our lots of spaces, except we don't need to do that, we can do that. Right, and then we put in our previous, and then we add another pin, and then we say index, right, and then we put the index key in for that one. Okay, so we should see the initial index, we should see the initial positions of the way the spline's going, right? So we hit that, we click on the button, we do our spline, we do that, and then we click on, darn it, I think I'm going to work on that off stream, just tidy up these little issues that make it a bit infuriating, like not knowing if we're actually going to hit this thing like that. Now I was hovering right over that, but we didn't actually hit it. And it's just not working. Just not working at all today. Oh, there we go. So if we resume that, right, it's at index 4 and this is at index 3, okay? So that's actually going up. It wasn't minus. It was actually the equal sign that I'm getting confused about. This one's minus 400, but this one is not. So that's 9,000, and the previous one was 9,300, and the previous one was 9,587. Right? And that's index 4. So that doesn't seem to be the case here. Should be changing there. Right? And then it's changing here. So for some reason it's not updating the last. It's not giving us the right index point. Right, hang on a second here. Let's let's stop that a second, right? So if we go back to here, right? And let's do that, then, right, okay, whatever. Now I don't know why that thing is still. Okay. And there it's drawn it. Okay. Now I don't know, guys, if that looked weird to you. But for whatever reason, right, that is bizarre. That is bizarre. We're clearing the spline points there. Then we're clearing this entire spline, which we don't actually need to do. This is not something that we need to do. Right. So, I mean, we're basically just testing it here with the... What I'm just going to do here is I'm going to get a reroute node. And then we're basically going to drag it all the way over here. Right. And then we're going to add it in there. And just as a quick fix for something, we're going to go into this refiner, right? We're going to go to the viewport. Right? And it's this plane here, right? So we're going to move it up a bit. Right, so sod that. If we're over that, we should be clicking on it, right? Right. So, let's try that again. And see how we go with this. We shall go with that. And there's some interesting stuff going on there. And you'll notice that this hasn't cleared this. This time, which means that we do need this code here. We need to stop this. Right? That in fact means that we need to move that. And this should actually come from here. And this should actually go away. Now I know this is an absolute mess right now, but we are going to tidy it up. But we'll probably do that off stream. So let's try this again, shall we? Right, so that should be that, and if we click on that, that should be that. And we've successfully done it, which is good. The lock position was position 6. So that's kind of right. So the last thing we need to do, and I think we're going to have a short stream tonight, it's pretty quiet, and I think the wife will be returning soon, which means that the dog will go ballistic for about 10 minutes, which won't help the stream at all. But I'm going to figure this out offline. I need to find out whether if the spline is going up the way or down the way. And if it's going up the way and the number is greater than on the Y, then we need to remove any of the splines to that point, or sorry, any of the spline points to that point. Then reset the lock point and then build to the end. And that is going to be the way I'm going to tackle it. Right? So you will see here that I'm building a car at each of the spline points, so that I can easily see how many points there are. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if this is 9, 8, 7, 6, which is our lock point, that is this one plus the one before it, which is in this case 6 and 5. We need to know from there if the spline is going that way or it's going that way, right? So with that in mind, what I'm going to do, right, is we're going to work this out again, right? So if we get a cylinder, right, and we put it at 0, 0, 0, Okay. Then we go to our cylinder. Okay. And if we put another cylinder above, you'll notice that going this way is actually minus. Right, so if we run our example again, we can actually see, if we do this, right, and then we move, our cylinders, into the exact Y positions, right, then what we can basically do is check the values. So basically that's going to be there approximately. That's going to be there. Approximately. Okay. Then what we can do is the positions on the Y are going to be right. Okay. So let's just have a look at that. So it's going to be the previous one minus the last one to know if we're going plus or minus. So if we resume that, right, we've got the lock point is 5, the index is 4, the previous is 4, right? So what we actually want to do here is, when we're getting this and we're printing our string out, right, we can change this to 300 again, and what we'll do is another print string, but on this print string we're going to take position Y, so we're going to break that vector, and we're going to break this vector, we're going to take the Y position minus the X position, right, we're going to do it in white. We'll okay that. So we know that this one is going up the way. Now the interesting thing is On the Y, we are actually upside down. Right? But we can check it anyway. So, if we do that, we do that, we do that, we do that, and then we click on this and resume, we get, where's our value? Well, that's an interesting value, because it shouldn't be that much. Did we do some weird multiplier or something? Oh, we done goofed up. Right, and we need to do an append. So guys, I'm going to leave you to it for tonight. If you enjoyed the stream, I'm just going to fix these little calculations out. Offline, take my time. I'm going to enjoy myself and relax on a Sunday evening. As I said, if you enjoyed the stream, subscribe. Check out the description for other ways to help and join the Discord. And I shall see you all tomorrow, 2 PM Central, as usual. Bye for now.